welcome to Belgium.
Oh my gosh, I'm pinching myself a little bit here, Declan. I can't believe we're at the world-famous ORSI Academy.
Yeah, the ORSI Academy. So for any of you urology trainees out there, this is a name especially for the Europeans that you might be very familiar with. I first came here more than 10 years ago to the ORSI Academy.
You've been here before, haven't you?
Yeah, but it certainly was not a very flash-looking, state-of-the-art building like this as we're seeing today. In fact, it was that farmhouse over there. Hey, turn yourself over there and have a peek at that farmhouse, Mario. That was the original ORSI building, which is just a little farm. We're here in farmland, you know, between Ghent and Brussels. Yeah. And in that building, I remember Alex Mottrie, who's the father of this place, had one or two Da Vinci robots and, full training facility, incredible facility. But then over the years, they've built this state-of-the-art place. And that's where we are today. This is a very special GU cast from the ORSI Academy here just outside Ghent in Belgium.
Absolutely. I'm pretty excited. I mean, it's an amazing structure. And not just a training centre, but quite a bit of a museum as well. It's got some amazing artwork. That statue out there that we can see, I don't know who that is, but it's someone measuring the clouds with a ruler.
Is that what that is?
A cloud measurer of some sort.
There's a gold man there with a large ruler, and he's looking up at the sky. And so, and Alex Mottrie, who we'll be catching up with later in the podcast, who founded this place all those years ago, is his vision that brought it to what it is today, is also interested in art, I'm reliably told. So there's a bit of Alex's interest in the building.
Well, it's a Wednesday morning, so it's business as usual at the ORSI Academy, and we're going to get a guided tour by Ruben de Groote, who is a urologist here in Aalst, very passionate about training. He'll be running the WRSC 12 program tomorrow, but he's going to give us a guided tour of the whole place.
Yep, so coming up in this episode, we're going to have a guided tour from Ruben of this ORSI Academy. We'll see what's going on in there today. There are multiple millions of dollars worth of different types of robot systems from different companies. There's also a Delphi consensus statement going on. They do a lot of academic events here as well, and they're setting up for the World Robotic Surgery event led by Surgquest, so we'll be finding out about that and about Surgquest. And as I say, we will catch up with Alex Mottrie and also a couple of the clinical fellows who are training here with Alex and Ruben between ORSI and Aalst, their big clinical institute just a few kilometres down the motorway.
Lots to cover. Let's go.
Let's go.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to ORSI. Hi, Declan.
Welcome.
Nice to
Renu.
see you.
Nice to see you. Good to see you.
Just another day at work for you?
Just another day at work. Yeah, it's part of what I do. I like being here. It's a fantastic facility. You will see. So it's.
We're already impressed, and we just walked in the front door.
I have to say, and I haven't been here for about 12 years. And the last time I was here 12 years ago, Ruben, it was just that little farmhouse next door that we saw earlier. That was it. A little farmhouse and a couple of robots. And wow, look at this now.
My first time in ORSI was also in that farmhouse. I mean, the first time I came in, there was like pigs walking next to the farm and surgeons being trained inside. So if we see where we evolve now, I think it's quite a big difference. It only shows how ORSI has been growing and been professionalizing over the last couple of years.
It's amazing. I mean, then the farmhouse still is there. And, if you look around this place, it's like being in the countryside. Yeah. Got the farmhouse, got windmills around, and in the middle of all this is this amazing facility.
Full of technology, and that's what you're going to do. You're going to give us a guided tour around ORSI today.
It will be my absolute pleasure to show you around.
Let's do that.
Yeah, all right.
Let's do it. Okay, Ruben, the guided tour.
Yes, perfect. I would just say follow my lead. I will bring you everywhere you want. You will see training clusters, you will see meeting rooms, you will see people getting trained. You will see nice infrastructure, you will see art, because Alex Mottrie, the founder of this building, of course, is a big art lover as well.
Yeah.
So here we are in the lobby. So this is a very multifunctional room. People are getting welcomed here, are meeting, are sharing memories from before, having a coffee. We're standing here just in front of the highway, so everyone who comes from the airport going to Ghent can see what we are doing. So this is a fantastic place to meet.
Absolutely. Now, I see multiple clusters, and I see names like Medtronic on these clusters. So what does that mean? Are they using it right now? Do they own the cluster? How does it work?
So the whole principle of ORSI, what it has been built for, is being inclusive. So you will see that it's not one player who actually is important here. You have different manufacturers who are using their robots for training courses here. So we are standing here in front of the Medtronic cluster. It's quite a big cluster. They have brought their system to the market a couple of years ago and is being used now more and more across the field of urology and also other specialties. So I would just say, let's go in and let's have a look what they are doing.
Let's check out the Medtronic cluster.
Alrighty, come in.
We'll follow the gang.
Can I go? So you see that we are not alone here. A lot of people are here.
It's busy.
I think that's one of the key features of these manufacturers of Medtronic, that they are trying to keep people busy and trying to organize very professional training courses, top of the bill facilities, but also a very nice training curricula. So we don't have one Medtronic system here. We have about 8 to 9 complete systems, all in different operating rooms. It's very modular, so they can be opened up to bigger operating rooms. So you see people getting trained here. It's very professional ORSI staff together with Medtronic staff, together with trainees. So we'll just have a walkthrough. So I would say enjoy what you see, because surgeons are being trained here.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, the setup it's very realistic, isn't it? It's really just like being in the OR. And
I think it's a bit, maybe even better than the real OR.
Yeah.
If you see that, like the modern features of these ORs, it's absolutely state of the bill.
Yeah.
I think if you compare it to most of the hospitals where we have been trained, the facilities are actually even better. So I think it's the best possible facility ever to get trained.
Absolutely. Yeah. So there's surgery going on in multiple rooms here.
So it's even too busy to get through. So
yes, it's peak time.
So now we'll go to the other cluster.
Yep.
It's just next door. We're getting simulation-based training here for novices. We have dry lab training, wet lab training, cadaver training, just based on the level of experience that the trainees have. In ORSI Academy, we really think about proficiency-based progression training.
Yeah.
So this means that you set benchmarks in order to progress through the surgical learning curve.
Yeah.
So for every part of the surgical learning curve, you have different ways how to train people. So you have the simulation, dry lab, wet lab, and so forth. So here we have more the dry lab training. In the cluster next door, you had more wet lab training on cadavers, animals.
Yeah.
So,
and that's really important, isn't it, Ruben? Because you've mentioned the benchmarks a few times, and that's really kind of the pillar of going through an ORSI education.
Absolutely.
Is hitting those benchmarks, stage by stage until you're ready to be in the OR.
Absolutely. So I think what ORSI makes a unique training center, it's not the building, it's not the fantastic facilities that you have here, but it's the whole idea behind it. You know, the training methodology that we are trying to adopt is it's called proficiency-based progression training. It was developed and also further developed here. And so we work with benchmark, very quantifiable, objective benchmarks, which actually define progress in training. So it's like a pilot going through aviation training.
Absolutely.
You can only fly a plane if you're certified, and so we are going to try.
And are we seeing the first benchmark here? This is the simulation type of training.
So this is simulation-based training. So in our hospital where I work, it's not that far away. It's about 30 kilometers away. The residents and fellows, they can only start operating on human beings when they actually went through the lab-based simulation training. And only when they can show that they are certified, that they are proficient on these specific tasks, they can actually continue their learning curve on human beings.
Yeah. And just over there, I think we can see the animal model training, can't we?
Yes, absolutely, So there we have the animal-based training. Of course, this is not for the novices. We don't want to sacrifice living animals to people who are actually not safe in simulation-based training. So that's the next stage.
Yeah. Fantastic. All right, where to next? This is very impressive.
So we only have seen one part of ORSI, of course. There's only one manufacturer. You see that they spend a lot of effort and also money, of course, in training people. I think kudos to Medtronic to do that. But they're not the only one. ORSI has more to offer. So let me take you to the other clusters.
And who are the trainers, Ruben?
So it's a combination of the manufacturers themselves, like the buttonology of the different systems explained by the experts of the companies,
Yep.
Medtronic, Intuitive, other companies who are here.
Yep.
So the buttonology is most of the time explained by companies, specific people, but of course the beating heart of ORSI Academy are the scientific fellows that we have here, the ones who are getting trained here and also in the hospital, because they are leading the ORSI courses according to the PBP or the proficiency-based principles. And so they are all around here, so maybe you have spotted them in the back.
We'll chat to a few of them for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's take me
Move to the
further
next
down
cluster.
the road. That's the next cluster. So here you have intuitive systems.
Yep.
So you will see that we have 5 XI systems, and also you have a new kit on the block. It's the 2MI system.
The MedBot.
Yes, by the Microport.
Yep.
It's very promising. It's
speaking of
Chinese.
MedBot, here it is.
Here it is. So you see it's quite similar to the systems that, of course, we know. We have Raf here, who is one of our
Good
experts guiding us if we use the system. So we have it here in ORSI Academy, but also we have been doing now more than 100 cases in the hospital in Aalst.
Wow.
Very specific for this machine. It's not only a good machine from a hardware perspective, but what it makes it quite unique is that they are actually playing at the forefront of telesurgery. So personally, I have been doing surgery from here to the hospital.
Wow.
Alex Mottrie has been doing surgery from London recently at IRIS to the hospital in Aalst, and it works perfectly. So we're doing a study at the moment to see whether telesurgery is feasible and safe, but it turns out to be very, very good.
Yeah, and it sounds like you've already got significant experience with quite a new system, which is fantastic.
Well, we'll try to not, be exclusive to one manufacturer, but to open up to different systems.
Absolutely.
So let me take you further down the road.
Yep.
So there you see already some of our fellows. Yeah, so they are nicely branded with Surgquest jackets to keep them warm. So here we have an intuitive XI system.
Yep.
Here we have 2 intuitive XI systems. So these clusters, as you see, they're all very modular.
Yep.
If we have small courses with 1, 2, 3 participants, we don't need that much space. We can keep it small. But sometimes we have very large courses for scientific societies, and then we can open up the clusters to a large space. Both for specific for wet lab training, dry lab training, cadaver training, et cetera, et cetera. So
very nice.
So you see that all the technology here is it's top of the bill. As I was saying, that plus the methodology behind it, I think makes ORSI Academy to one of the most unique training centers.
Very unique place, absolutely. Very good.
So
already seen 3 systems.
Yeah, we go a little bit further.
Yeah.
So the single port will come on a permanent basis soon. This XI system most probably will be replaced by a single port system, and so we will start organizing single port courses very soon as well. My colleagues Edoardo Mario, who are standing beside us, they are the senior fellows here in our hospital and in ORSI Academy. They will also co-organize these courses. So we'll open up the courses soon, so stay tuned for registration.
Absolutely. And here they are, Edoardo Mario, hello.
Hello. Hi. Hello.
Looking through your amazing facility here, it's quite incredible.
It's amazing to be part of the podcast. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure having you here.
And we hear that you are the beating heart of ORSI, so it's kudos to you for really helping to run these amazing courses.
Yeah, we are just a little part of it, but we are extremely grateful for the opportunity to be here. We do just for what we can do to improve this amazing opportunity that we have.
Yeah. It's an amazing environment for the fellows. Having the opportunity to be trained here and to become trainer give us an amazing advantage, I guess. And we are very, very grateful to Ruben, to all the ORSI team, because they let us do a lot of things, and it's amazing, really.
Oh, you have your work cut out for you with the SP coming soon, and that'll be very good. You're well supported, Ruben.
I mean, for us, I think as a surgeon, And as a trainer, the most satisfying is that you see that someone who you train actually gets there, you know, gets to the proficiency benchmarks in the lab, but most importantly, who is able to give the best possible treatment to your patients.
Absolutely.
And so without them, ORSI would be empty.
Yeah.
The hospital would not survive. So I think
and
kudos
pass
to
on
these
the
guys.
skills to other people as well, which is
yeah,
fantastic.
very important. Yeah.
Now, well, shall we continue the tour? Is there anything around here to see?
So now we'll go to the back of ORSI Academy. This, I'm not saying the trenches, but where all the preparations are being done.
Yeah.
So you see that we don't only have our fellows, we have an amazing staff for the support. We have a lot of veterinarians, a lot of technical support, because all these machines, of course, they don't work for nothing. So I think that ORSI has been growing over the last 10 to 15 years to a company with 1 or 2 people involved to more than 35 people now working on a daily basis in the lab, outside the lab. In the kitchen, cleaning services. So it's, I think kudos to Alex Mottrie to make this happen in such a short notice. I think there is one person here to congratulate, and that's him.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially when you work with animal models, that incredible network of support is really needed, isn't it?
It's very, very important. So we are trying to only use them if there is no other option available. So for this, we have very strong collaborations with ethical committees. Our veterinarians are very professional. They take care of the animals very, very well. They make that they don't suffer. And also we put a lot of effort in replacing them by valuable alternative. ORSI Innotek is one of the branches of ORSI Academy where AI is being investigated, is being implemented to actually replace training by non-animal models. And that's, I think that's the future, probably.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, there we go. Very impressive back channels of ORSI here.
So here we are behind the clusters. So all the preparations are being done here. You see it's empty now because the training courses are ongoing, as you saw just a minute ago. And if we walk a little bit further, you will see where everything started.
Oh,
that little farm that you mentioned before.
A little farmhouse,
Yeah, so there, if you just go outside, you will see the farm where it all started. It started with 1 or 2 robots.
Wow.
Now you see that you're, I think, over 20 different systems. It's getting too small, ORSI Academy. So originally we trained the first year about 50 surgeons from around the globe. Mainly urologists at that time. Now we have been growing to a place where more than 3,000 surgeons are getting trained on an annual basis.
Just amazing. Wow. 3,000 surgeons that come through here every year.
And urology is only a part of it now.
Yeah, of course.
It's a minority. It's 15% are urologists who has multi-specialty training, general surgery, cardiology, intervention, radiology, etc., etc. So we're building a new place. We're expanding.
I can see and hear the construction.
Yes. So also here we have our guys getting ready for the event of tomorrow, the WRSE Surgical Marathon. So the whole AV support is getting ready.
Yeah, there we go. Farmhouse to this.
It's quite a change. Yeah.
This is also good.
So we've just seen one section of it. So the upstairs are meeting rooms and auditoriums.
Yeah. So we have seen the ground floor. The training clusters.
The training clusters,
At the same level, you have the restaurant. Unfortunately, I cannot show it to you because they are doing the building now outside. But the restaurant is more important than you think because all the important decisions are not being made in the boardroom. They're actually made at the bar. So that's I think it's really important.
There's a restaurant with a bar inside ORSI.
Absolutely. So we'll go upstairs now. So there are 2 floors in ORSI Academy.
Now I do see a beautiful theatre there. We often do see images of people sitting there, and you know, once those curtains are drawn, a huge screen comes down. It's quite an impressive place. What kind of forums do you run in that theatre?
All different kinds of forums. So we have scientific lectures, we have events that we organize. The WRSE 12 session that we have tomorrow will be organized from there. So it's a very well developed auditorium. So all the AV support that you need you can find there. It has a very, it's very comfortable. You have comfortable seats. It can host up to 150 people. It's equipped with all the modern modern technology that you need for to have good lectures. The sound is very, very good. It's very decent.
And that's that big screen that comes down once
Yeah.
these curtains are closed. Quite amazing.
And it's very open, so indeed you can close the curtains, but when you open it, it's this very open feeling, this auditorium. So I think it's a very quite amazing place here.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Perfect. So I'll take you upstairs.
Upstairs, let's
There we
go.
have our meeting rooms.
Yep.
These meeting rooms can be used for any purpose possible.
Yep.
So these can be used for meetings, of course. They can be used for theoretical training courses.
Yeah.
They can be outsourced to other companies.
Right. Yeah.
We are just at the highway. It's only 30 minutes away from the airport in Brussels, so it's very convenient for companies to have their meetings here as well. So if we go upstairs, we will again find a lot of people there. Apparently,
I do love the open plan here. You know, everywhere you look is glass, and you can see outside. I mean, is there a story behind who selected the construction for this building? Is it Alex Mottrie's?
Well, Alex, he has an eye for aesthetics.
Yeah.
So you see a lot of art in the building, but also the building itself is very nicely constructed. It's indeed very open, a lot of light from outside.
Natural light,
The highway that you can see, the big piece of art outside, for instance.
Yes.
It appeals very much to people. It's not just a dull building where you have
that's
training,
right.
so it's very nice to be here.
Very impressive.
So if you just have a look through, here you have all different meeting rooms. They can be small, they can be big, they can host groups up to 150 people as well. They're very modular, so you can open them up to bigger places.
Yeah.
So it's all very, very convenient. They can be booked online.
Yeah.
So it's very, very convenient to have a meeting.
Offices around here where your
Yeah.
surgical fellows would sit and have a break, and
where we have theoretical lectures in order to prepare them for surgery, for instance.
Yeah.
So let me take you now to a place which is important today, because we will have two Delphi panels today. So we have tried to invite the most important surgeons in the field of robotic surgery, in the field of technology. So we will have a Delphi consensus meeting on metrics development for flexible cystoscopy. It looks like a very easy procedure, but I cannot stress enough how important it is to do it well, and to do it systematically and standardized. And so the whole proficiency-based progression methodology is based on these kind of metrics that need to be developed, but also need to be validated. And so for this, they have to go through a Delphi consensus panel. And so we will have the first Delphi from 11 to 1 today, and then the second one, that's a more important one, is to define the position of a new technology. It's confocal microscopy in the field of prostate surgery.
Yeah, for intraoperative margin assessment. So
here we have the
that will
boardroom.
be-
It's being prepared. So we will host 25 experts from around the globe and 10 more who will be joining us online. Not in the least, you guys yourself.
Yeah.
I think you're
Looking
considered as
forward
top
to it.
experts in the field of robotics. But we have key opinion leaders invited. Some of them are already here. And so we will try to find the consensus and to define the position of confocal microscopy in the field of robotic surgery. There is nothing out there yet. The data is very scarce. There is no guidelines about this. So I think that you have to try to push the field forward there.
Yeah, absolutely. New technology like that comes out. We do need some standardization on how to best use this and how to best integrate it into practice. Well, this looks good. It's getting prepared. We're excited for the rest of the day.
Me too.
So Declan, we've tracked down Alex Mottrie.
Yeah, here in the ORSI Academy, his baby.
The founder of ORSI. Alex, it's great to see you.
Yes, thank you very much. I am super grateful that you are here in ORSI Academy, coming from the other side of the world. That's great.
You're right. It's great to be on your home turf, and you know this is your vision come to life. It's an amazing place. What's the story behind ORSI? What motivated you to think about this and start this?
Yeah, ORSI is of course a work in progress, and it started 13 years ago actually, as being a small training center, intuitive only, urology only, robotic only training center.
Yeah.
But then we moved, ERUS came on it, and we started with the first validated curriculum in the world, being certified curriculum of ERUS, and so we moved and progressively became bigger. We diversified into other specialties. We had new companies coming in, and so we have been growing and growing, and this is, to be honest, a lot exceeding my boldest dreams.
It is, and I remember when he was dreaming about it all those years ago, as we said to Ruben earlier on, I came here, it must be 12 or 13 years ago, soon after you opened, in that little farmhouse out the back, and there's cows going around the place, you can still smell poo. I said, this guy's crazy, this is never going to work, But here it is, and look, one of the important things, not just a beautiful building, is you've built these great relationships with, I think not just one, but a couple of the biggest universities you have here in Belgium. You've built great relationships with, not with one company, with many companies. You're the go-to destination for companies with this type, not just robotic technologies we saw today, it's interventional cardiology technology, all sorts of opportunities, and also with organizations like the EAU. So tell that this must consume a lot of your time building those relationships to help grow this place.
Yeah, so I think that is super important that we are an inclusive platform. Everybody who is willing to help to build on our mission, which is to improve healthcare, mainly by improving the way we train the people. Everybody who is willing to help us there is welcome. Be it a KOL, students, young residents, big multinationals, startup companies, and also academy, scientific societies. I believe that I am not the person to be training everybody. Who is responsible for training? These are the scientific societies who are responsible to train their own members. So we are trying to involve the scientific societies here in our platform. And a big example is the EAU, of course. They are even shareholder here in ORSI Academy. So they did a capital increase, I think, just before COVID. And fortunately, because otherwise we would have had a lot of cash problems. But along with EAU, we gained a lot of power, let's say, political power to move forward, and we are doing a lot with them. So what will be coming now is what we call micro-credentialing. So you know, our macro-credentialing, that's you and me, we are all urologists, yeah, that is the big profession. But it's not because we are urologists that we are able to cut with whatever tool, be it a bisturi, a knife, a laser, a laparoscope, a robot. So a fool with a tool is still a fool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have to prove to the outer world who is able to do that. Now it's spread mode by mode, but what we should do basically, that is to go for micro-certification. So what we are doing now is, and this is started with the European Union, is that we will deliver micro-certificates with proof of proficiency, and that's very important.
Amazing, and like you said, it's still a work in progress, and that's because you've got big plans, and we can see that old building at the back there. This is amazing, but there's still a lot of construction going on, so you're expanding even further.
Yes, so we made a big hole, literally and also money-wise, let's say. So we are now rising it up and trying to fill up that gap. But in all honesty, we are living in a decade where we will innovate more dramatically than we've done the last century. So there are, for example, 256 adventures going on in new soft tissue robotics. 256. There will be a bottleneck in training. And so we will need space to be able to train everybody properly. And as you stated, it's not only robotics. It's all the minimal invasive. We are always trying to operate with better outcome, but being less invasive, less collateral damage. And that's what we're hoping to be one of the players in that field.
Well, it's been lovely to be here for a few days, Renu, watching all this in action.
If you're ever
isn't
in Belgium, just outside of Ghent, check out this amazing place.
Yeah, and that's why you see people coming from all around the world to get that experience, because it's very difficult to replicate this, even in a country like Australia. So necessarily, it's important to come physically here, but also, as we spoke to Ruben about some of the philosophy you have about training, about the performance-based metrics and so on, the curriculum you've developed, these micro-credentialings. I mean, these are things that you don't have to physically come to ORSI. I think there's a ripple effect with that sort of those standards you set, you know.
But you say it very rightly. our hope, this is a little bit our legacy. Yeah.
Yes.
And our hope, we have invested a huge amount of money in all these new metrics in order to change the old-fashioned way of training in the real OR on the real patient. This is not, we should not allow this any longer. Yeah? And with working together and with having other training centers that are willing to, we have to standardize training, that are willing to do the same way of training with the same benchmarks, with the same philosophy, with the same feedbacks, working together, we will be allowed to have new simulators that are all PBP-wise, etc., etc. So a lot of work is to be done, and why don't we join forces around the world?
Love it.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Alex.
Thanks,
Thanks a lot for coming. I'm so happy and proud that you are here.
Thank you. So we've seen the amazing physical infrastructure of ORSI, but tell us about Surgquest. What is Surgquest? And then tell us about these WRSE, the World Robotic Surgery events that you guys coordinate.
So Surgquest, it's a little bit my baby, as I would say it. Of course, it's not only my work, it's a big teamwork. But we see it as the digital extension of ORSI Academy. So as you have seen before, we train people in ORSI Academy physically on site from a novice level to a level of proficiency. Can be very advanced, can be very basic. But when the people are going home back to their host centers, they actually have to continue their learning curve from the proficiency level to the expertise level. And so this is quite a big leap still to take. Now the problem is that if you're not getting trained well by your trainer, you need at least to have good examples. And so surgical videos is extremely important, more and more even, for surgical training. Now the problem was, and I had that problem personally when I was in training, I didn't have any very good videos, or I didn't really know where to find validated surgical training videos. And so like this, we developed Surgquest. It's a combination of very high quality surgical videos, not millions of videos altogether, but a selection of the very best surgeons providing their very best surgical training videos. And so if you go to surgquest.com, you will find a selection of these kind of surgical training videos on in different fields. This can be urology, this can be robotic surgery, this can be cardiology, this can be gynecology. So we are trying to be, as ORSI Academy does, to be inclusive, to include different specialties, different technologies. And this is of course building. It's work in progress, but we're getting there, I have the feeling. And so apart from hosting this video repository, we are also organizing events. We're doing webinars on different topics. We have technologies that we discuss, surgical procedures that we discuss. But we also organize the so-called WRSE surgical marathons. This is actually something what has been taken from the past. It was actually Alex Mottrie together with Pete Wickland, who is also here today, who developed this fantastic idea. And so originally they did 24-hour surgical marathons. They followed actually the sun. It rose in the east and it went down in the west. So they started in Australia.
Yeah.
I think you joined.
I contributed some cases.
You contributed a lot of cases, and it went down in Seattle, where Jim Porter was actually doing the last case. Yeah. Of course, logistically, it was very difficult to organize. Yeah. So we thought like it's very important to keep this golden principle, and so we are organizing now 12-hour sessions.
And it's an amazing event, Ruben, and it's free, you know, for anyone in the world to just register and log in and watch these amazing live surgeries for 12 hours straight if you're up for it. Yeah. How do you make it so accessible to everyone?
So, I mean, again, I think it's a teamwork. It's not only teamwork of the people here in ORSI, but I have to thank, of course, the medtech, the companies, Medtronic, Intuitive, for the Samantri, for the ongoing support of these kind of live surgical sessions, because this takes a lot of effort to organize, a lot of money, of course, also to organize, and we want to keep it as accessible as possible. And if you don't have to pay a penny to watch it, I think that the boundaries to watch it is extremely small. small. You just have to log in, make an account on Surgquest, which takes 30 seconds, and just watch the surgeries. And it's not only to watch, you can also actually join. You can ask questions in a Q&A box. You can join by voting on poll sessions. So we try to keep it very interactive indeed for the sake of education. And so tomorrow we have lined up, like, I think the Champions League of surgeons. You have surgeons from across Europe, but also outside Europe and the States are participating. We will show different intuitive platforms. We will have an X system, XI system, single port system. We will have DV5 with Michael Stiffelman from New Jersey who will be operating. And together with this very high level of robotic surgery, different indications, we will have also included the confocal microscopy. So you will see how this Mottrie histolog device is actually working in real life, in clinical practice. So we will take out the prostate out of the body of the patient. And as NeuroSafe originally was described, we will only need 5 minutes to have a real-time histological exam and a margin assessment of this prostate. And so like this, we are aiming actually to have a better nurse pair without compromising the oncological safety of the procedure. And so for this sake, of course, we also have the Delphi of today.
And of course, there's a full podcast coming soon after this one in the next few weeks from ORSI, all about that live surgery event with the confocal microscopy, histolog, and so on. So that's a key part of an upcoming podcast, totally dedicated to intraoperative margin assessment. But Surgquest, it's a no-brainer for me. We tell all our fellows to go and register on Surgquest. If you can catch one of the WRSCs live, it's great because you get all the interaction. But if not, there's this unbelievable library of cases. And I recall when I was getting ready to start on the single port robot a few months ago, I came across these SP marathon events, single port marathon events, coordinated by Simone and team in the US. But you also contribute the single port cases from Europe, I understand, and you've got one of them coming up from Surgquest as well.
Yes, absolutely. So the single port marathon has been organized by Simone Crivellaro and Jihad Kaouk since 2018, because the single port was, of course, way sooner available in the States and in Europe. But now, since last year, as Surgquest, we are organizing also the European part. So we have SP users from across Europe who will perform live cases, and this will be on December 13th. It's a Saturday, so you have to wake up early at 8, but that's okay. If you're too late, no worries, because the recordings will be made available afterwards on Surgquest.
Yeah, because I found those incredibly helpful, Renu. Myself and Dan Moon just went through all the SP Marathon free cases, so you can watch these cases done by experts. It's incredibly helpful. So we might even try and contribute from Australia now we're doing single port surgery.
Well, I mean, we would be very much honored. So we discussed yesterday over dinner, and you will see Declan also performing. It's semi-live because of the time difference, but you will see also his expertise during the SP Marathon in December, and we're looking forward.
Fantastic. So we've been showing some examples for those of you on YouTube of Surgquest WRC events, and there's a QR code if you want to get straight to Surgquest, or if you're listening to this, the links are all in the show notes. But please, if you're interested in robotic surgery, go follow those notes and sign up to Surgquest. Congrats, beautiful work.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
You can see all the preparations happening around us. There's a real buzz in the air. It's a technological feat, and look at all the preparations going on. So good luck.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
So Ruben, we've seen this amazing facility. I mean, the training here is absolutely superb, and it's just set up so beautifully. But you also run a fantastic clinical training program through ALST, the clinical hospital where you work at and operate at, and you have a fantastic fellowship program. And we've got two of your wonderful fellows here, Edoardo and Mario, both from Milan, who are spending some time here with you. So how do you integrate the two? How do you decide how much time the fellows spent here in the simulation labs and with the animal models, and at what point do they transition to the clinical training?
Yeah, so ORSI Academy always has had a very strong link with the hospital in Aalst, of course, because Alex Mottrie is the head of the department there. I'm also working there, so the link is very clear. And so the whole principle of ORSI Academy is that the human body is not a training tool. And so it's all about patient safety, and we don't want to have people anymore who are completely inexperienced and more importantly, who are actually dangerous to the patient, to touch on patients. So we are trying to incorporate the proficiency-based progression training methodology not only in the lab, but also in clinical practice in the OR. And so the principle is that fellows like Edoardo and Mario, they're getting trained here in the lab first, simulation, wet lab, dry lab, until they are deemed to be proficient based on metrics. And once they are proficient and once they get their certificate, they are being allowed very quickly, actually even, to operate bits and pieces on real-life patients. And of course, it's not only a show-off of what they can do, but they are getting directed. They are getting feedback. So since a couple of months now, every Thursday evening after the OR schedule, we bring all the fellows together, and always one of the fellows have to show what he or she has been doing over the last couple of months. So it's video-based training, so they show on a split screen their own video or parts of a video, and at the other side of the screen we have the dedicated metrics for that procedure. And so I give them formative feedback, metrics-based feedback on what they have been doing well, but more importantly, what they have been doing wrong. Yeah. And this is, of course, a very important learning source, not only for the one who is being evaluated, but also for all the ones who are actually being present in that meeting. Yeah. So, but of course, I think you have to ask them what they find of it.
Well, Edoardo, let's start with you. I mean, it sounds like an incredible opportunity to really refine your skills and get kind of almost day-to-day feedback on where you can improve and go and focus on that the next day. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that we have a huge opportunity both here in ORSI and in the hospital. The training that we do here is, I think, the most important part of our fellowship, because we really start doing things from scratch here in ORSI, but when we become proficient in something, we really are safe in performing that step of the procedure. So when we move to the OR, of course, it's a bit more stressful. You have a real patient there, but you are very familiar with what you have to do. You are very confident in what you have to do. You don't need to think about how should I handle the needle, how should I move the instruments. And also we have a lot of opportunities because we work with several platforms, several robotic companies. So we move from Medtronic to Intuitive to Microport.
Many platforms, yeah.
And so we have the opportunity also in the hospital to move very quickly from one console to the other without need for adjusting our mind and thinking of what we have to do. And the opportunity that we have with Ruben, with Prof Mottrie, and with all the consultants to receive feedbacks that are objective feedbacks, not personal-based feedbacks, that's amazing. I think that's very important, and we are improving a lot thanks to this way of doing the training and the surgical start of our experience in robotics.
Fantastic. Mario, you've been through this training, and after you finish the simulation and the dry lab, wet lab training, do you feel ready then to go into the OR and start doing the procedure or parts of the procedure on a human being?
At this moment, absolutely. Now I'm in the end of my fellowship, 1 year fellowship, and after 1 year I have to say that the PBB methodology really works. I came here in ORSI last year as a robot naive, basically, and here I found a safe environment where to learn and a structured way how to learn, because I came here barely knowing how to move the instruments. I found here senior fellows at the time. They explain me how to do it in a correct way, in a very structured way. So the first 6 months we spent here basically working in the lab, trying to practice yourself, and of course bedside assistant, mostly in the hospital, how to learn. It is also important to see the procedure because you learn the procedure in the bedside assistants. And basically after 6 months you become a senior fellow, like me and Edoardo are now, and you are ready to perform the steps. And I think that the PPP methodology is the ideal also for the consultant, because as Ruben said, if you tell me that you do the PPP methodology and you are proficient, I'm like I feel safe to let you do some steps. Of course, you can you start with the basic step, and then you become more and more advanced during the time. And also the Thursday session we do with Ruben is very important, because we for each fellow we do a dedicated session for this fellow, reviewing the steps, but also for the people that are around the table is important, because if Edoardo shows the steps he did, is also important for me, because I can learn from his mistakes too. So it's great.
Amazing, and you've hit on such a great point, is how much you can really learn, not just by doing, but also by listening and watching and learning from other people's mistakes and successes. So, I mean, it's an amazing thing that you do, and the dedication that you as a team have to do this every Thursday is quite incredible. And you boys have now become trainers yourself. You contribute towards training the next generation of fellows that go through here. So it's the see one, do one, teach one, really in big letters. How do you find the training part of it?
I can go. So the training, we are trainers for people who come here and they do not have experience at all with robotics. So we do basic surgical skills training, starting from the real basic task in urology, but also now in general surgery, in gynecology, because we have all other fellows also for these specialties. We then move to trainings that are more advanced, procedural trainings. We use animal models, but the goal, of course, is also moving to a new way of training with virtual models, with models that we can use instead of the animals, and that's also very important. We have an Innotech group that is working together with us to improve this side of the training. I think it's a very amazing environment, this one, yeah.
And both of you have given Ruben a lot of help in putting together the events of the next couple of days. So, and congratulations on that. And really amazing to hear how it all integrates together. Because I've always thought the one thing surgeons are really not that good at is training. We have no official training on how to train people. So going through something that's standardized like this is very helpful.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think if you compare all the professions with each other, and if you ask any person in the street, who do you trust most, they will trust the doctor and the surgeon most. But they don't know that actually we still let people operate the very first time under a mom, So I think that we have to move as a professional medical society away from that. And we actually have to mitigate the learning curve that airline pilots have. Yeah. You cannot imagine hearing through the intercom, listen guys, it's my first flight, but don't be afraid, because I have a very experienced pilot next to me who will show me everything what I need to know about flying a plane. I think everyone gets off, and they're right. So we want to do the same for surgical training. We want to have certified surgeons who are actually certified to operate with a very specific robotic system before they operate on patients, and it's all for patient safety. If you compare the surgical errors made leading to deaths of patients, and if you would apply that to the airline sector, every single day a jumbo jet would crash. Yeah. And so that people don't know. So if you would tell this to people, they probably will not trust surgeons that much anymore. So I think that we as a medical society, we have the responsibility to make surgery and surgical training much safer and much more professional.
And all the more important as new technologies come into screen, that even proficient surgeons need to be retrained sometimes. So huge congratulations to all of you. What an amazing place.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, that's all we have time for on this episode of GUcast. What a fantastic opportunity to look behind the scenes at the world-famous ORSI Academy here in Belgium. We are posting links to the ORSI Academy and also to Surgquest. What a fantastic resource this is. Please do sign up and you can access all of this wonderful live surgery content. We'll be back very soon with another episode of GUcast from here at the ORSI Academy in Belgium, this time focusing on confocal microscopy and a special edition of the World Robotic Surgery event.